Hello! Today I'd like to take a look at Dragonforge. It's a game where you play the part of a dragon hatchling trying to clear a curse from the land. Special thanks go to Legend Studio for the review key. This review is based on a completed playthrough across 42 hours. All opinions are solely the authors. You're all busy people, so let me answer your most pressing question first. Are you going to enjoy it? The 30-second spiel is that this game is about growing your dragon's capabilities and collecting mana to uncurse the land. You set up an infrastructure to manufacture crystals that you sell to get mana. You spend mana to unlock better crystals and clear the curse from the land. The newly cleared land can be explored to gather new types of resources and do quests to further upgrade your dragon. Costs will rise exponentially, so you'll be constantly optimizing your mana infrastructure. The game is intended to be a casual pastime that you can play on and off. If that sounds like something you like, then stay with me and I'll delve deeper into the details. The premise of the game is that the land is cursed. You play the part of the last dragon hatchling, and your task is to free the land from its curse. As you clear land, it'll reveal new monsters, quest givers, and resource types. Aside from the overarching premise, there's not much of a story to speak of. Most characters you meet will give atmospheric dialogue for you to read, but you shouldn't expect anything beyond that. The game is primarily about the gameplay it gives you. The driver for exploration is that new lands give you more resources and new enemies to battle. These allow you to craft upgrades for your dragon, and food that can be used to heal damage taken, which then allows you to fight better. Each region has a different variety of enemies. They all have ranged attacks, and often have attacks that bring them within melee range. Many resource types are only dropped by enemies. Battling monsters and gathering resources give you experience that will allow you to level up. As you level up, your hit points, the damage you do, your stamina will all rise exponentially. You don't physically get bigger, but you do become far more capable as your level improves. Aside from the standard enemies, there's also large bosses that you can fight. They're giant versions of the standard enemies and have similar attacks, though as you might expect, they do a lot more damage. The game ends when you defeat the last boss and you're crowned king of the land. You'll die, but there's no penalty. You simply respawn at the same location you started the game at. Being a dragon, you can fly to explore the land, but only in short bursts. How long you can fly depends on your stamina, but once it runs out you'll be forced to land, and you'll also be slowed down until you recover some stamina. You can also swim, but that uses up stamina, and if you run out you can drown. It seems that you can't land until you run out of stamina, which takes a bit to get used to. The ability to fly for longer becomes more important, as the lands you unlock end up further and further away, and battling bosses is best done from the air. Exploration can also reward you with mana cards that provide small bonuses to your mana income, as well as flying races, and fight challenges that award you more cards if you complete them. One thing that took a while to get used to is the targeting. It doesn't aim at where the mouse pointer is. You should wait until the enemy is highlighted to ensure your attack will hit. This becomes problematic when enemies get right up to you and things get confusing. The same targeting issues occur when there's a lot of trees around, so you should simply assume you'll have to clear all the trees in between before you can target enemies. Another thing to bear in mind is that the early fire breath attack does not have splash damage, despite being called fireball, and needs to be targeted. Upgraded attacks seem to have better damage and area of effect, but they require specialized ammunition to be crafted. Leveling up upgrades the damage your basic attack does fast enough that it didn't find the effort of crafting better ammo for better attacks worthwhile. The crafting process in the game isn't complex in itself. This is not Factorio, but you do have to set up some supply chains if you want automation, and this will typically be the case for processing crystals for mana. You need to craft different types of food in order to unlock the delivery couriers that are used in automating supply chains. Finding enough land close to your starting spot to keep your infrastructure together is a bit of a problem though. Mana can be spent to upgrade the efficiency of crafting different types of crystals, but ultimately you'll have to unlock new crystals to progress, because new crystals typically are worth 10 to 100 times more mana. Better crystals provide more mana, better food allows you to heal more, crafting upgrades allows you to fight better. These in turn allow you to explore further. One unique aspect of the game is that numbers go up exponentially. That includes the cost of unlocking land, upgrading mana production, unlocking fables, and the benefits of leveling up all go up exponentially. It might confuse some people who aren't familiar with the notation, but the E in the numbers means how many figures there are after the decimal place. So something like 1.72 E6 means 1,720,000. The land you need to cleanse to access the final boss requires E144 to unlock, so we're looking at astronomically large numbers. Basically, if you're not upgrading your crystal manufacturing infrastructure, you won't be able to make progress. Such large numbers might give people a suspicion that the game has monetization, but I haven't seen anything like that, and the pacing is brisk as long as you pay attention to unlocking new crystals and optimizing your mana infrastructure. One serious issue that I've encountered is that a lot of cooking involves wheat. It could be me, but I haven't been able to find any, and that's after clearing the entire map. This is a problem because foods are needed to allow you to expand your infrastructure, and most foods require wheat or wheat products, so that limits how much automation you can have. It's not insurmountable, and doesn't slow you down much if you focus on increasing your mana income. Another unique aspect of the game is that it simulates mana processing while you're not playing the game. So if you last played 10 hours ago and start the game, it'll give you the same amount of mana as if you'd left the game on for 10 hours. I don't know exactly why it's there, but I suspect it's to allow players to skip the need to wait around while you collect enough mana for your next purchase. It's more typical of what you'd see in an MMO, but it's useful if you find yourself needing mana. You'll still have to manually gather resources though, but that usually involves flying around and battling enemies, so the player is more of an active participant in that scenario. Ultimately, this is a casual game, with gameplay that you'll master without too much trouble. The pace remains brisk as long as you follow the game's intended path of continually unlocking new recipes and crystals. It's a game that would suit someone looking for something casual that they can play without needing to feel as if they need to set aside hours each time they play, because the game actually rewards playing in small bursts and turning it off. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. See you soon.